In the previous video dealing with searching using WebPath Express, I mentioned that you can add resources to your lists. Now we have something called resource lists in Follett Destiny, which is also on the left-hand side. If you click on resource lists, you'll notice that there's something called My Lists and Public Lists. So in your list or my list, I can create a new list. Let's say it has to do with animals, and I want to add someone as a co-owner to this list because I want her to collaborate with me on resources to do with this. I can type in her name under Add Co-Owners, find Patron, click Go, and then click Add once I found the person that I want to add to this list as a co-owner. Then I'm going to click Save, and you see that my animals resource list has been created. When I go back to WebPath Express now, if I type in animals, click search. Let's say I want to add, note here it's selected list as animals. If you want to change whichever list you want to add the resources to, you can. But let's say I want to add the entire page of resources. I looked at all these resources and they are applicable to me and what I want my search needs, so I'm going to add this page. Then when I go to my resource lists and I go to view, websites, it's not going to be under library materials because it's not a physical resource, it's a website. I see under websites, I see all 25 resources have been added. One thing that I want to note, students and teachers can also note this, is that at the bottom of your list, if I read through all of these resources, I found information that helps me complete my assignment. At the bottom of the page, you see Create Citation List. If you click Go, what Follett Destiny does is it creates your citation list for all of the resources in your resource list. So then all you have to do is copy all of these resources and put them into your document that you're working on. Or if you want to remove resources, you can do that and then create a citation list. Or if you want to just create a citation for one individual resource, you can click citation, but you would have to input all of the information. So it's not going to create or generate that citation list for you, which is a disadvantage of doing it individually. I can also, I think there is a way to remove all of the resources. See at the bottom here, you can remove all of the resources if you don't want any of them in your website resource list again. Note if you want to add, let's say we're going back to WebPath Express, we type in animals, we found our digital resources or websites. We want to find titles that are physically available in the library that have to do with animals. I'm going to click titles. And it's just loading. Right, and let's say these two resources, I borrowed these two books, I found information on them. So I want to add these two resources to my resource animals resource list. So that's one and that's another. Right, so note that the selected list is animals. I'm going to go to my resource list again, and under animals, under library materials, you see that those two resources have been added. I can create a citation as well with those two resources and copy and paste this into my document. So you know, Follett Destiny makes it very simple for you to cite your resources. All you have to do is just put them in your resource list and then let Follett Destiny do the work for you. Again, you can remove all of the resources if you like. And you can do a library search, a general library search, and search for information like that instead of using WebPath Express. So you don't have to feel like you're limited to only using WebPath Express to find your resources. You know, you can use the regular Follett Destiny search area. Type in what you're looking for. Let's say I want to do a title search and I want to add this resource to my list. Still saying animals list. I go to resource list and it is going to be there. Right? If I do not need these resources anymore, I can just delete them, right, and start over. I also want to point out that you'll see public lists here. These are the lists that I have created in the library that show you what books are on each individual Kindle or what books are on the iPods or in certain units, or not only books but resources within these units. So you can browse through those if you're curious or if you're looking for particular books on a particular Kindle that you may have checked out. So I hope that this helps you understand using resource lists to share information with your colleagues or to access information or resources later on. It's a great feature for collaborating or collaboration within your grade or classroom, or just collaborating if you're a student and you're working in a group with a group project. You can use resource lists to share what resources you found that might be applicable or helpful to your other group members. So if you have any questions, please feel free to contact a librarian. I hope that this tutorial helped. Thank you.